I'm probably, you can remember me as the only woman with only one slide in the whole conference. That's transformation, by the way. And transformation is what matters to me. Actually, what really matters to me is to be open for transformation, to be open for a mindset change in yourself and in others. And especially when something happens to you, as it happened to me when I was 9 years old, I got to know that I would become blind at one point. And I can tell you that's not really a great news, first of all. Actually, I was terrified of being isolated. I was terrified of being an alien. I was actually horrified of sitting in the dark all day long because I was a very, very visual person. Now, blindness came, and yes, I was isolated, and yes, I became an alien, and I'm still an alien, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. And yes, no, I never went into darkness. Darkness never came, despite the fact that all the sighted world tells us it is dark. Blindness and darkness is not necessarily the same. So the good news actually is, for me at least, or for many people that turn blind, the world can be much more beautiful and much more colorful because you can paint it in your own imagination. Now, lots of other good news too. Once you stop whining about what you have lost, about the sight that you have lost, you start to receive a lot of other things. For example, focus. You understand that you are not distracted anymore by Hollywood and Bollywood. You understand that you can actually communicate very well, or that you have to communicate, because if you don't communicate in a clear manner, you become invisible. And you are forced to become a problem solver, because you have to find your own path. And actually, my path led me to Tibet many years ago, where I met my life partner, or actually I love to say my boyfriend, because it sounds much more romantic, and I know there are lots of shocked faces in the audience. But no, I met my boyfriend, Paul Kronenberg from Holland. He was an engineer. I met him in Tibet on the Himalaya, and he was the only person who believed in my dream to transform the mindsets of Tibetan people in regards to blindness, because people in Tibet very often believe that blindness is a punishment for something that you have done in your past life. Now, a lot of blind people are discriminated, are isolated, and what we wanted to do, and what we did actually, is we started school, which is actually not a school. It's much more like a springboard for children who learn everything they need to know to integrate themselves proactively into society. And they learn much, much more than that. They actually gain confidence to jump back from this springboard, jump back into society and say, hey, I'm blind, so what? I can do so many things. Maybe I cannot go to the kiosk and buy a newspaper and just read it, but I can do something that sighted people can never dream of doing. For example, reading and writing in the dark. We started several projects, not only the Springboard, but we started also a vocational training farm with cheese production and bio-bakery. And our biggest dream was actually that it's going to be run by blind people, and especially by our blind students who had changed their attitude. And I will give you one example. One of our little kids, 9 years old, he sat in the courtyard. He was smiling from ear to ear, and you could, he radiated this happiness. And we asked him, hey, Yumi, what's up? And he said, I'm so happy because I am blind. Now, we continued asking, said, what do you mean by that? And he said, I am the only one who can read and write in my family. I'm the only one who can speak 3 languages fluently, Tibetan, English, and Chinese, in my village. And I'm the only one in my whole region that works on the internet with a speech synthesizer and who can surf in the world and who can write emails everywhere. And that, despite of the fact or actually because of the fact that I am blind. And again, this is transformation. Now, after our dream came true to let it run by blind people, we said, what's next? And we wanted to transform the springboard for blind children in Tibet to a global springboard for social visionaries from all around the world. For people who are marginalized, but people who are not giving up, but take their marginalization and make the best out of it. And use it as a strength to change the world to a better place. Now, we thought we wanted to be somewhere central in this world. And immediately it came to us, Kerala. Kerala is somewhere central in this world. Now, a lot of you North Indians think that's not true, but just look at the map, you know, look at the South Indian Peninsula. It's hanging in there, right in the middle, between Africa on one side and Asia on the other side. And it actually looks like a springboard, doesn't it? And from this springboard, our social visionaries, they jump back into their societies, to India, to Asia, to Africa, all around the world, with all the methods, with all the techniques that we are giving them from international catalysts. Now, this center, if you want to visit us, the center is in Trivandrum and it's called Kantari. For all Malayalis, it's a word you know. It's a plant that grows wild in every backyard in Kerala. And it's actually a very, very tiny but very spicy chili. And this chili is not only spicy, but it's medicinal as well. And now, for us, it's a perfect symbol for a social visionary who has fire in the belly, who has spice in their action and the guts to challenge the status quo, and who comes up with new solutions for old and new problems. Now, one last sentence. A lot of people with big, big dreams, with big visions, they meet other people who tell them, you are too small. Just stay on the ground. Stop dreaming. And our social visionaries from Kantari, they just answer, just bite into a Kantari. And you know, a small chili can make a huge difference. Thank you very much.